Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm JahannSurvival, and we're going to get back into the playthrough of our Necromancer Bobo build.
There's no time. Take this. Keep it safe. Information. The Ice Reach Coven. At work in the west. Just need more proof. Go! They're coming! Don't trust them. Only Lyris. She's...
You there! What did that fugitive tell you?
So this is the very first quest you'll get after the starting area, and this is the
Who
main
are you?
storyline quest.
Another spy? What did this lying Easterner say to you? Assisting a fugitive is a crime in Hafingar Hold. Unless you want to find out how we deal with traitors and spies, tell me what he said to you. Lucky for you. If he had told you any seditious lies and you decided to keep them from us, you'd have been in real trouble. Don't start spreading rumors about Reach witches. You go panicking the good folk of Solitude and I'll toss you in a cell. And how is it you know so much about this witch work? And my grandfather killed 12 giants with his bare hands. But at least he had the good grace to string a few of their teeth around his neck before he made the claim. Got any proof? The word of an outsider isn't worth mammoth spit. Keep sticking your nose where it doesn't belong and you'll wind up just like him. Mind your own business, or you'll find that Solitude doesn't take kindly to instigators and strangers. Go on. Just remember, I'll be keeping an eye on you.
Alright, so he gave you papers that already prompts you to use bundled paper, so you can just press E and go ahead and read it. Wait for this to get out of our way. A scrap of paper with hurried writing scrawled in a shaky hand sits on top of the pile. Brondoled. The guards came asking for you. They were rattling their scabbards at anyone they could find. I'm scared. I hid your horse in the woods. I'll wait in the barn by the stables outside the city, but only for one more day. An official-looking form with an annotation. Declaration of Customs. Port of Departure, Sentinel. Port of Arrival, Solitude. Cargo offloaded. 3 barrels of sus water. 4 crates, housewares. 5 crates, roasted pottery. 1 crate, Sentinel canteens. Saw a crew member superstitiously marking several crates on the docks, hidden compartments. Couldn't get a look inside. A small, tightly folded note tucked in between the sheets. Left a surprise for you. Follow the directions. Where stones stand south of the lonely docks, in the shadow of their shelter, where the living trees keep watch. Okay. So, to change pages is right mouse changes to the next page, left mouse changes back. Alright. Let's look at our map. So, you see 3 points here. So we're going to go to the docks first. That just makes logical sense. So we're just going to go for a little jot down the boardwalk. Now, fall damage is a real thing. And as you can see now, it's prompting. There's a little thing on stealing. We'll cover that in a much later episode. But, yeah. So here's that crate that it was talking about. And there's the suspicious symbol. Now, we were just up the hill, so that way shrine is right there. So it's right down the street. And this is where we are, right there at the end of the dock. And this is the first point. This is going to be the Western Skyrim docks, and you're going to find the marked crate here. Go ahead and search it. found some ash-covered marking things. So the next one, we're going to go out here, follow the cryptic directions. So let's jump into the water. Some people like to just jump while in the water. It doesn't really change what speed you're running, what speed you go. This is also the main story zone for Western Skyrim that we're starting with. So it's not too far of a jaunt, just a little bit of a run down here. I'm gonna kill this thing because it doesn't take much to kill it. So if you'll find a backpack here, Brundle's hidden belongings. Go ahead and search it. There's a letter to Lyris tucked between the covers. If you're reading this, I never made it to our meeting at the Blue Palace. I'm likely either dead or in the dungeon, but I was able to send word your way. I don't have solid proof that this ice crown covering your hunting is in Hoffa hold, but something's rotten in the capital city of Solitude. I know I'm on the right trail. Unfortunately, it seems they know it too. I wish I had more information for you. I'm sorry. Bring what I found to Queen Cordell. She's more level-headed than the High King. Without her influence, I doubt you'll even be allowed to see High King Sovereign Brondel. The journal itself reads as follows. This assignment is going to be more challenging than I anticipated. Locals are suspicious of strangers. Guards always seem to be watching. Even if a city the size of Solitude, even among Nords, I stick out like a sore thumb. I made one contact at the royal stables. A young woman named Kavan. Starry-eyed naive. Told her to keep watch for unusual travelers. No one else is talking. I'm going to settle into a routine, get people used to seeing me around. Everything passes through the Lonely Troll at some point. It's the best place in the city to talk to the locals and learn about what's going on. There's an orc that frequents the establishments, goes by the name of Moth. He seems willing to talk as long as you keep his mug filled. If anyone knows something about the Ice Crown Coven, I'm sure to find them in the Lonely Troll. Any trust I built up with locals evaporated at the mere mention of witches. Won't say a word about them unless you count prayers to the gods. I guess they take dark magic more seriously this close to the reach, but they'd rather shut their ears to it than court misfortune. Gravin came through for me, said some rugged types arrived on mountain mares, trying a little too hard not to be noticed. They put up postings all around town recruiting for something. Sharp girl. A recruitment flyer is stuffed in between the pages. Laborers and craft workers needed. Brave folk sought for distant and dangerous work in uncharted territory beyond the Drodage mountain. Travel mandatory. Food and lodging provided. A year-long commitment required, with the rewards to match the risks. Inquire at the Lonely Troll Inn in Solitude. Note scribbled at the bottom of the flyer. Seen these postings across the hold. Nobody seems to know what all this labor's for or where it's needed. The journal continues. I noticed Red Guard ships making the regular stops at the docks here. Considering my chilly reception, I found that curious. Cost me a good bit of gold, but the local snitch, Gregor, who I found gambling in an alley, provided a solid lead. Red Guard mariners are bringing shipments up from Sentinel. Manifests say housewares. Crews look more like mercenaries than traders. She saw one discreetly. Okay. Let's try reading that again. Now that bear rudely interrupted us. So here we go. Okay. Rise solidly. She saw one discreetly marking of the crates. Think I'll poke around. Tried to grab what was inside, but I got caught and it slipped from my hand before I could wrest it from the crate. I managed to lose the thugs who were after me. I just hoped they never got a good look at me. Supposed to meet with Lyra's Titanborn before her audience with Queen Girl at the Blue Palace. Tell her what I've found so she can convince High King Savangam that there's a threat to his domain. All I've got is suspicious nothing. Solid. I've heard the High Queen rules with a lighter touch. She might be the sympathetic ear that gets us in the door. Alrighty, so to break that down, so you have the High King. And then you have the guy that was here. He's working with Lilith Titanborn, who's a character, if you've played the game before, you'll know who it is, but she's one of the main characters from the main portion of the game. She's a giant Nord woman that has a taste for her double-bladed battle axe, which you'll see soon enough. So let's go talk to the woman that it mentioned. It says I have no set active now, so let's fix that. Collectibles, mounts. I think that's the only one I have right now. Alright.
Yeah.
Let's ride up the hill here. So, we're back to just basically where we started today.
Yeah.
We're right here. That's where we started. So all we did was run down to the docks and then out into the wood forest over there. There was some maples right here, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this. So from here, we're going to go to the next position that it's referring to, which is just up here. Just going to follow the road, stay left.
Stay back. I'll do it. I'll stab you.
She's quite feisty,
I
if you
mean
can't
it.
tell.
One step closer, and I'll stick you like a hawker.
I'm not here to hurt you. I need to talk to you about Brondald.
I don't know any Brondold. That is what I told the guards, and that is what I'm telling you. I don't want any more trouble. You make me stab you, and it's my word against yours.
Brondald's daddy left me with a handful of...
Did? Stone's mercy. And I'm next, aren't I? I promise. I don't know anything. I won't make any trouble. I'll disappear. I don't even like it here. You'll never see me again. He did not tell me a lot. Said he was tracking some bad people. Asked me to keep an eye out for any unusual comings and goings. He'd come by now and then with a sweet roll and a few coins for my trouble. He was nice. The last time we spoke, it was about the men with the job postings. A pair of wolves in sheep's clothing. Trying to blend in, but still rough around the edges. Same with their horses. Sheared mountain mares. Come from the Reach, I wager. They'd be wise to. The only time Reachmen and Nords meet is to kill each other. I always heard they were raiders and barbarians. No interest in honest labor. Or writing, for that matter. Not the sort to post job notices. Who knows? Maybe they really do need laborers. Can't imagine Reachmen would hire Nords, though. It doesn't make a lot of sense. A wild land full of wild folk, located south and west of here. It's changed hands between Reachmen and the Nords more times than I can count. But they control the territory now. Seeing Reachmen wandering the streets of Solitude, it makes me nervous. You'd feel the same if you knew the tales of the fall of Markarth. What the Reachmen do to folks they capture. Better to slice your own throat than let those barbarians take you alive. If they raid our hold, just run and don't look back. Flyers. They were hanging them at the inn around the city. Something about a lucrative opportunity in the Druidek Mountains. I really did not pay them a lot of attention. I was more interested in the men distributing them. Take Brondol's horse and run before someone less friendly comes to find me. Ron was going to take me back east after he finished here. I want to live where strangers are welcomed with a smile instead of a scowl. I hear Wilhelm is like that. We're stuck between the despot of Markarth and the Skald King of the East. Both sniff around like wolves, waiting for a moment of weakness to strike. Not a day goes by without a threat of war. It is exhausting living this way.
Okay, so we got a little more of the story there. So mainly right now we're focusing more on trying to just pick up the story than anything else. So I think the next step, Gathering Storm. Yeah, so I think the next step is we have to go meet Lyris Titanborn. So she's going to be actually up in the city. So you're just going to go back towards where you started and turn left. And then hit this crossroad. You're going to go right towards the city. And you're just going to follow the main path. And just remember that your icon is on the compass. And that'll show you where to go. So we're going to make a little bit of a detour right here. We're going to go up these, instead of turning right there, we're going to go up here. And the only reason we're going up here is there's a way shrine up here. It'll make things a little faster in the long run to go the little bit of a roundabout way this way. Literally just run right by it. Go just like that. Now while we're here, we're going to pause.
Next time I'm in the field, I think I'll
Let's
bring a
finish the
great
quest.
warhammer. Or two.
So let's just work on this main story quest, and then we'll come back and do the other quests later.
A fascinating application of the technique.
Okay, so Lyris Titanborn is right here. She's the giant woman standing in the courtyard with a little diamond above her head. So we're going to go ahead and talk
I'm
to her.
accustomed to stairs, but I reached my threshold for gawkers a long time ago. Move along. I'm waiting for someone. He's what? Damn it. Queen Gerhild will be here at any moment. Look, Her Highness is expecting to talk to me and my contact. I need you to pretend to be that contact, or this will go very badly. We can exchange intimate details of our lives later. Right now, just know that the safety of all of Skyrim, maybe even all of Tamriel, depends on how this meeting goes. So follow my lead and be on your best behavior with Her Highness.
Lyris Titanborn. Your reputation is known even here in the West. Is this one of your famed companions?
No, but I assure you my partner is one of the Skald King's best. Go introduce yourself, partner.
I am Gerhild, Queen of Skyrim. Allow me to welcome you on behalf of our kingdom, our city, and our hold. Who might you be? The letter that preceded your arrival said an attempt was made on the Skald King's life. It indicated that High King Svargrim would be next. My husband took that as an accusation and a threat. He will not meet with you, but I will hear you out. Have you anything that would persuade my husband? It will take some substantial evidence to convince High King Svargrim to heed the words of the hated Yoren, the Skald King. Trouble from the Reach is as common as snow in winter. That will not be enough for Svargrim to accept the help of outsiders. His hatred of Yoren runs deep. I will speak on your behalf, but you and Lyris must bring me proof my husband cannot ignore. Thank you for alerting me to this situation. I am eager to see what else you uncover. I will do what I can, but be as discreet as possible. If you run afoul of my husband, he won't hesitate to return you to Yoren, and not necessarily in one piece. Eastern and Western Skyrim have been at odds since the kingdom was divided. Yoren's ambitions for the Ruby Throne, however, have created a new level of tension. Forming alliances and raising armies for conquest. Should we not be wary of such a man? Frankly, yes. He believes Yoren hasn't marched here with an army as yet, because the Western holds are firmly united against Pact rule. My husband is certain Yoren plots to erode those allegiances. He will not easily earn the High King's trust. You must convince my husband that a threat greater than Yoren exists. Further, this threat must directly imperil the High King. Find proof of this, and I will assist you how I can. Helping to keep our hold safe will also allay his concerns. It's enough for me to believe your intentions are sincere. Learn more about these suspicious activities you mentioned, then bring it to me. If this threat is as dangerous as Yoren claims, prove it, and I will make my husband listen to reason. My deepest apologies. Between the Reach to our south and the Ebonheart Pack to the east, our soldiers have come to see all outsiders as a potential threat. I will look into this. Vigilance cannot be allowed to become a bludgeon.
Okay. So now that we're done talking to the Queen, we'll go ahead and talk back to Lyra's Titanborn here.
You handled that better than I expected. Now what in Mara's name happened to Brundold? Damn. Lucky thing he found you. Brundold was supposed to get the lay of the land before I got here. Without his information, my work for Yoren the Skald King could be over before it begins. What did he give you? Hand it over. Smugglers and Reachmen up to illicit business. Nothing unusual there, but Brundold thought it could be connected to the Coven. I'm short a good investigator, and you stepped into the role easily enough. Can I count on you to help me with this? Brundold mentioned some locals we should have a talk with. A snitch named Grega, who likes to gamble in back alleys, and an orc named Mog, who frequents the Lonely Troll Inn. Let's find them and see what they can tell us. Succinctly? No, but I'll try. The Icereach Coven recently attacked the Skald King. We learned they're planning something in Western Skyrim as well, so Yoren sent me to warn them. Beyond that, we have the leads Brundold found, and that's about it. I had a run-in with the Coven too. First at their stronghold in the Sea of Ghosts, then in Eastmarch. They tried to... well, let's say they had plans of an unkind nature regarding the Skald King. I stopped them, then came here to warn Svargrim. While it's true that Svargrim and Yoren don't get along, the Skald King doesn't want something terrible to befall Western Skyrim. That would be bad for the East as well as the West. Besides, Yoren was hoping for an opportunity to improve relations. Lyra's Titanborn. I was one of Emperor Varen's 5 companions. Currently, I serve Yoren the Skald King. Skyrim's my home, and I'll do whatever's necessary to protect it. Whoever's behind these threats will regret it, as soon as we identify them. This axe and I have been all over Tamriel, to oblivion and back on more than one occasion for that matter. I've earned my reputation. Yoren hoped my fame might persuade Svargrim to grant me an audience, but it seems to be working against me. Most of the tales of my exploits involve the liberal application of the blade of my axe. Svargrim must think Yoren sent me here to strong-arm him into joining the Pact. He's wrong, but I'd probably jump to the same conclusion. We don't, but it's all we've got. Even if they aren't connected to the Icereach Coven, taking care of a few of Svargrim's problems might earn us some goodwill. Now, let's go check out the back alleys and the Lonely Troll Inn.
Alright, so now she's going to start following you. Anytime you see an NPC with this icon, it means they're going to be running quests with you for their story. So we're going to keep focusing on the main story for this zone, which is Western Skyrim.
I'm not the first Nord from the east to receive a chilly reception at the Blue Palace. Doubt I'll be the last.
So right now we're here in Western Skyrim. Right now we're in Solitude, the capital city. So let's go focus on the main story. So the first one, we're going to talk to these thugs here in the alleyway.
Hell.
Hey, don't step on the dice. There a reason you're interrupting our game, pork face? Don't know any Brond old. Don't know you. Either way, I got nothing to tell you. Get lost. I'm on a winning streak.
So if it shows persuade like this in red, means you can't do it yet. So we're going to have to select talk to me.
My friend asked nicely. Talk, or the next thing to roll will be your heads.
Kassala! She handles all the smuggling in Solitude. Her warehouse is on the docks.
That wasn't so hard. Come on, partner. We're done here.
Okay. So we're going to immediately go to the next place, which is that inn she spoke of. Which is going to, or that
Castle
we read about
Dower
in
is
the
a
journal.
monument to the Western spirit. Stony and cheerless. Maybe the new tower will liven up the place.
So that inn is just over here near the main gate. You can find it right here. The Lonely Troll. Let's go ahead and go on inside.
You must be Mog. I have questions.
Questions? Happy to oblige. Buy a few rounds and let's chat.
You're going to answer me, Orc, or...
Hey! Nobody intimidates my friends.
Princess Savannah.
Who gave you the right to walk in here and bully my friend? Did my father send you? Because he doesn't like Mog. But I like Mog. Mog doesn't care that I'm a princess, and it doesn't matter to me that Mog's a scoundrel. If my father didn't send you, why are you threatening my friend? Smelly bastards. Cheap, too. Wouldn't buy us a drink. They hung their flyers and left without saying a word. Then, a different smelly bastard showed up to sign on workers. He was a charmer, though. His breeches fit well. And he was handsome. Not a Nord. Breton, maybe? I didn't really listen to what he was saying. A half-dozen workers left with him. Off to the Drudok Mountains or someplace. He hasn't been back since.
Let's talk outside, partner. So we've got a mysterious Breton possibly working with Reachmen, recruiting workers for some unknown purpose. Plus there's a smuggler hiding unknown contraband in a warehouse down by the docks. I say we deal with the smuggler first. We know where to find her and we more or less know what she's up to. And if the two are connected, maybe the smuggler can help us narrow our search for the Breton. Ready to visit Kassala's warehouse?
Okay, so next portion, we're going to just go down the hill, go through the big old doors. Let's go ahead and get on our mount. So if you haven't gotten a mount yet, you'll get your first mount as you level up, and I'll point that out when we get to that point. I have one from pre-ordering the expansion. Unfortunately, I don't have any others on PC yet, because I'm still very new to the game on PC. I know the quests and that because I've played them all on, for the most part, on console.
That's Kassala's warehouse. Only one sentry. Let's try not to cause a scene.
Private property. Get lost. Wait. A half-giant? Is that Lyris Titanborn? Blood and Blade. Everyone knows Lyris Titanborn. What a woman. She's even larger than I imagined. No wonder she fought Swordmaster Sai Sahan to a draw. Wait, is he here too? Until Kassala returns, I'd be happy to keep fair Lyris company in her stead. Alas, Kassala doesn't allow visitors when she isn't here to conduct business. But we can wait out here. Do you think Lyris would autograph my ancestral scabbard? would mean so much to my son. When I have one. Do you know if Lyris is betrothed? Oh, thank you, thank you!
Send him to go get his
Don't know
scabbard.
how much this means to me.
I don't know what you said to him, but this is our chance. Try the lock.
Okay, so lock's pretty easy, just left click. So it does that, and then you release the mouse when it starts jiggling. And not hard. Honestly, I think this is probably one of the few things that's easier to do on PC than on console. There we go, we're inside.
See what's in those marked crates. I'll watch the door.
I knew whoever was poking through our shipments would return. Brought muscle this time, I see.
More than you. Care to try me?
I'll pass. I just want to know who's been meddling in my business. I had a feeling it wasn't just an opportunistic thief trying to steal my cargo. What are you after? A plot against the High King? Involving plundered antiquities from Hammerfell? Preposterous. I'm simply facilitating a transaction between treasure hunters and a rich collector. So, who am I paying the bribe to? You or the High King? Gimme that! Tribal crafts my arse. I told that son of a skeever I don't deal in arcane goods. Especially ones from the Reach. Nothing but sorrow comes from such business. This isn't cursed, is it? No name, just instructions and gold. Shipments come in, I make sure no one looks too closely and wait for a pickup. Never see a same face twice. Last time it was a smooth-talking Breton with Nord laborers in tow. You want more? I need assurances. They're taking the cargo to an abandoned lodge in the foothills north of Solitude. Occasionally used it myself when the city guard was being thorough. Want to catch them? Start there. If that's all, we're leaving. I'm not losing my head over this. The Breton was sly. Handsome even. Thought he could charm me into taking on additional shipments. Now that I know what's involved, the trouble isn't worth it. The Nords were local, hired hands from the Lonely Troll. I'm paid not to ask too many questions. This arrangement was a lucrative one. I trusted them, but it seems they took advantage of my natural greed. That won't happen again.
Rondold had good instincts. We're definitely onto something. Our mystery buyer is hiring locals to haul these urns and reach fetishes out of the city. But for what purpose? The Coven was also perfecting some kind of ritual in Ice Reach. Something to do with storms. If these fetishes are from Ice Reach, you may be onto something. Still, why involve the locals? Seems like an unnecessary risk. Good idea. Head there while I circle around from the other direction. Maybe I can catch them before they reach the lodge. Just be careful. I'd rather not lose another partner at this point in the investigation. Give your sentry my best, and tell him I owe him an autograph.
Oh, he's gonna get more than an autograph if I see him again.
Okay. So we're headed up to this little cabin up the road a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, So it's gonna be just around the corner here. You don't want to actually go up the stairs that you saw that one guy going up, because then you have to come back down here to get to where you're going. You're gonna find a little gap in the rocks here. Path down that way. So let's go ahead and kill this guy first.
I have
and then
more
I'll show
than I
you where we
need,
go.
so I'll just feast on
Okay. I'll show you on the map right now. This is where we are. So pretty much you start the game right here. And then we just came up, followed this trail up and around. Let's go ahead and wander on inside the lodge and see what we can find. So I'm not gonna read the books off the bookshelf this playthrough, just because we will literally be here all day reading those. I'm gonna go ahead and search everything. Remember, you can't do that. All right, there we go.
Over here, partner. All I found were these Reachmen stalking the pass. Decided they'd rather die than talk, so I obliged. They don't look like they're from Ice Reach, but they are wearing the Coven's medallions. Anyway, did you find the lodge? Kilcreath? The temple to Meridia? Why would the Ice Reach Coven target a local Daedra cult? Damn, we're running out of time. I'll head back to Solitude and try again to warn High King Svargrim. You go to Kilcreath Temple and alert Meridia's priests. I'll meet you there as soon as I can. You'll be going up against the Coven by yourself. Warn the priests. If there's an opportunity to safely stop or delay the ritual, by all means, but don't take any unnecessary chances. I still don't want to lose another partner. Good luck.
Okay. Anytime you're near a way shrine, go ahead and try and unlock.
Hold, my friend. A disaster has befallen. Didn't I send you to Solitude? This place isn't safe. The Ice Reach Coven performed a ritual and summoned one of those Hero Storms. Now Kilcreath Temple is crawling with Hero Fiends. I'm sorry, but you're too late. The Coven unleashed their unnatural Hero Storm, and now the entire area is overrun by vampires and Hero Fiends. Still, meeting you again is fortuitous. We worked well together before, and I could use your help. There may be survivors who could use your help. And if we can learn more about the ritual that summoned the Hero Storm, we might be able to determine how to stop them. Or at the very least, we can figure out where they plan to strike next. I could use your help to examine the strange pikes erected around the temple. Hero Fiends and vampires roam the area, making it difficult to get close. Hence the need for your assistance. You see, I'm not that confident in my combat prowess. The Ice Reach Coven performed a ritual that unleashed a Hero Storm on the temple. It struck without warning and evaporated as quickly as it began. But in its wake, it left behind Hero Fiends. Innocent priests and pilgrims transformed into monsters. That's what I heard the Ice Reach Coven call the storm that struck Kilcreath Temple. It's magical in nature. The result of some sort of ritual performed by the witches. I'm still investigating, but I think the Harrow Fiends are a byproduct of the storm.
Yeah.
Look! A priest of Meridia! Maybe they can tell us more about what happened at the temple.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what we're doing is we're pretty much trying to head to the first point down here. So here's where the first point
energy.
is.
That's Daedric, if I'm not mistaken.
You'll see a little cabin next to it.
It's depleted. Just ordinary
Here's point
sticks and
number
rope
4.
now.
Number 2.
Interesting.
So before we go to the next one, we're going to go ahead and collect our rewards. So we're trying to do a stamina build, so we're going to select the medium leggings and ignore the other 2. And then for attribute points, we're going to stick our attribute point right there in stamina. And then for skills, we're actually going to put the next point in volley. And the reason we want volley is a really good AoE. And it's going to be one of the main abilities that we use a ton of. Third one is right here. And this one you have to pick this up.
An alchemical residue. That should prove useful. These depleted witch pikes expended a lot of power to summon the Harrowstorm. Now they're just ordinary sticks, but even in this state, they tell us much about the ritual that flowed through them. I'm sure now that the pikes play a significant role as focal points for the storm ritual. The prepared pikes are depleted as the ritual runs its course, but I sensed lingering energy, including a Daedric taint. And... These depleted witch pikes expended a lot of power to summon the Harrowstorm. Now they're just ordinary sticks, but even in this state, they tell us much about the ritual that flowed through them. I'm sure now that the pikes play a significant role as focal points for the storm ritual. The prepared pikes are depleted as the ritual runs its course, but I sensed lingering energy, including a Daedric taint. And we found an intriguing residue. It's the remains of an alchemical poultice that was spread over the pikes. Smells like rotting fungus, doesn't it? With a little study, I should be able to identify each ingredient in its makeup. Then I can begin to understand the ritual. One other thing I want to check first. I noticed the pilgrims leading a cart away from the temple right before the storm hit. Coven members could have tried to slip away among the innocents. The cart should be along the road south of the temple.
Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
Strange. They're alive but unresponsive. Check the crates and see if they contain the smuggled items. Did you find anything of interest in the crate? I can't believe anyone knowingly involved would have let themselves be exposed to the storm. Perhaps the pilgrims were tricked into transporting the crate. Or maybe it was slipped into their cart. Yes, of course. Though I fear what we may find there. The temple was clearly at the center of the storm. Regardless, there's still a lot we don't know about the effects of this ritual. Observing the target area could offer new insights.
Alrighty. That's where we're going to pause for right now, guys. And we're going to end part 1 of Western Skyrim Zone main storyline quest. And you guys will have to come back tomorrow and see what happens from there. Thank you everybody for coming, and go on from there. Bye.